Welcome back to the channel and for watching these videos, and apologies, it's been a while since I posted a video. Unfortunately, since for my holiday, I've not been able to get out on the boat just due to the fact there's been so much going on outside of this particular hobby, with family stuff and whatever. So yeah, I do apologise, but hopefully normal service will be resumed, and that starts with hopefully at least one more boat trip out on this before it comes out in a few weeks time for the winter. So then I'll also film the winter lift out. I'll also try to get over to the catamaran to get some video of how that's progressing, and also the 1969 Fair Creek yacht. So I thought I'd start today with a very brief video of, is a Beneteau Antares 780 like mine a worthwhile first boat? And if I had my time again, would I buy one again? So let's jump on board and go through what I think. So let's just briefly talk about the things I wanted from a boat. I wanted something with an outboard, I wanted some cockpit space, I wanted some interior space, any space on the bow to be able to relax up there when the weather's nice would be great. A small galley would be perfect, and also a heads compartment, not necessarily for us fellas, but certainly for my wife and my daughter, so they can have some privacy. So with the Beneteau 780, get the outboard, 150 horsepower, great. I've had up to 30 knots on this boat a few times, but sitting between 20 and 23 knots is absolutely perfect for this boat. A lovely bit of seating area in the cockpit. We've had 8 sitting out here before. We use this step as a seat as well, but it's nice and comfortable. The only thing with it, the table you get with it fills this entire void, so when you've got the table in, it's very hard to manoeuvre yourself round to the relevant seats without having to walk over the cushions, which irritates me slightly, which is why I try to make a new table to go in here. Big storage void under here, which was very useful. We have the spare outboard under there. Loads of interior space here. Now we've easily seated 6 around here, but storage is an issue inside the boat, so you have these little kind of cubby holes around here. You have a few cubby holes by the galley, and it is a tiny galley, tiny bit of storage under here. The actual burner's under here. You flip this board round and you put this gas cylinder on, and that's your burner. This can also drop down to make into a bed to house 2 people, and then you've got the forward compartment of the boat, which you can use also as a bed to house 2 people. We do have the heads compartment, but as you can see, I'm 5'8" there or thereabouts, and I'm almost as tall as it, and trying to get into it is like some kind of origami. You have to fold yourself to get into it. Now for us fellas, we can go over the side of the boat if we really are busting, but for the women it's a nightmare to use. Not a selling point, but I thought this would be perfect and we could use it. The reality is it's pretty much a pain to use and a bit useless really. Again, lack of storage. In places like this hanging locker, you do have the dark water tank, so I've just got some life jacket holders in there. A few more kind of cubby holes here, and you've got some the other side there. But yeah, as you can see, not a lot of storage. You do have some under these seats as well, but it's a pain when you're going particularly under these two to get everything out of the way to pull stuff out. You've got some storage compartments on the floor under here and under here, but again, when people are in here, it's you just kind of turfing people out so you can get to things. So not great. And then the other thing about the boat I thought was going to be livable with it, but it's not, is side decks. They're asymmetric decks, so this is the widest deck on the starboard side. The port side is even smaller, and I'll put some footage on that. I'll overlay that onto the screen now for you. But ultimately, when you want to go out in the boat and you're at anchor, or you want to try and anchor, if the seas are a bit rolly, because of it's being a small boat and the freeboard's quite small as well, these railings don't come up particularly high, so when you walk along the side decks, very much feels like you are on the boat rather than in the boat. And whilst you've got these to grab onto as you need to, and you've got a handrail up there on the wheelhouse roof, it can be a bit unnerving, and certainly my wife and daughter are very nervous about using side decks when we're out at sea. So it tends to fall to my son and some guests we've got to get that working. So all things considered, for the £35,000 that I spent on this boat over 4 years ago, was it a good first boat? Yes, it was a great first boat. Probably a lot of money to spend on my very first boat, but as we were looking at boats at the time, the older the boats I was looking at, they needed a lot more work, whereas this didn't really need anything other than a few little kind of remedial actions to it. If I had my time again, would I buy this boat as my first boat? Probably not. So this boat, just like the Mary Fisher 645 next to us, are great day boats, but they're not designed really for anything more than one night aboard, I would say. And certainly that 645, it doesn't have a toilet on it. You can get a camp toilet, but you have no privacy. Whereas on here, obviously, I have got the toilet, but you have to fold yourself into the heads compartment to be able to use it. So it's not particularly practical or really usable. So I think on that basis alone, just to make sure that the ladies have got somewhere to use where they've got privacy and comfort, that would be a deal breaker for me now. So on the next boat I get, and I've not started looking seriously at the moment, that would be one of the first things I do need. I need a proper standing size heads compartment. I really could do with a bigger galley, so I can actually get a cup of tea on without having to move everything out of the way. And again, the chair, it tends to fall back a bit if you've got roller seats, because you can't seem to lock it into the forward position. Bit of a nightmare. So it's always going to be slamming back towards the little gas stove you have here. So again, bit of a poor design. So I wouldn't buy this boat again for my first boat, but that's not to say it wouldn't suit someone else for what they want in life. But just for what I need to feel comfortable, make sure everyone else is comfortable, probably wouldn't be my first choice. I might think about foregoing the accommodation and actually going more for something like maybe a marlin, so you've got taller, wider decks all the way around the sides up to the front of the boat. Anyway, I hope that's helped, and apologies once again. There'll be more videos coming of the Catamaran and the 69 Fairy Creek yacht. My boat's been hauled out in a few weeks' time, so I'll video that as well and start videoing some of the jobs we're going to be doing. But I hope you found this one useful, and let me know what you think in the comments. And until next time, take care, and I'll catch you on the next video. Bye bye.